Hello and welcome to the WinBeta podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Sean Michael, and I'm here with the other host of the show, Zach Bowden. Say hello, Zach.
Hello, I'm here. How are we, everybody?
And today, as with every week, we will be talking about the latest news related to Microsoft-related things, and of course, for your viewing pleasure, lots of build-related news. So this week we have a great show. We're going to run down the poll results from last week's poll, talk about the latest build with Zach, and then we have things like how to reserve your free upgrade to Windows 10, what things you lose when you do that upgrade when it comes out, the pricing for Windows 10, the fact that you can do a clean reinstall, the big feature that not everyone's talking about smart devices and smart homes, that sort of thing. And then we have some non-Windows 10 stuff, like rumors around the 940 XL, the Lumia 940 XL, and Skype crashing if you type in certain characters or send them to people. So please, during the live stream, no one send Zach or I those particular 8 characters, because I'm not sure that we've both updated. So don't do that.
I think it's I think it's fixed now. So
I sure hope so.
Yeah, please, nobody message me just in case.
Yeah, nobody. Yes, all of a sudden the stream just ends. So yeah, you could listen to the next hour or so where we chat, or you could just listen to the 5-minute summary that we just said, which tells you everything we're to talk about. Whatever you want.
Well, thanks for listening, guys. Bye.
So yeah, let's see here. First up, we have the poll result stuff. So we did a poll last week. We did it at the end of the podcast, so you may have not actually heard it. So we'll probably put those in the beginning if we have those in the future. A lot of people wanted us to rebroadcast kind of the after party. Just wanted to quickly say why we don't do that. Zach, you were better explaining that to me. Do you want to say why we don't rebroadcast the after party?
Okay, yeah. The reason we don't rebroadcast the after party and how it became the after party, I have no idea. But the reason we don't rebroadcast it is because it hasn't got anything to do with what we do and what this channel is about. This channel is technology focused, plainly Microsoft focused. We do Windows, etc., etc. We don't actually just, we can't. There's no room on the channel for us to chat about random stuff.
Right. We love doing it. We'll do it after the show. We love answering questions. And then, the answer question part, if you can't join the live stream and you want to ask us a question, you can put it in the discuss thread on either the Join Us Live post that we do in advance or in response to the podcast. I'm pretty active on YouTube, Discuss, Twitter, all that sort of stuff. Zach's very active on Twitter. So you can ask us questions too. But yeah, to be honest, if you stick around for the live after party, we're kind of like friends with a lot of our listeners. I mean, I haven't met them, but they're my friends, right, Zach? I mean, they're our friends.
Yeah, they're our internet friends.
Yeah, they're our web friends. I mean, you're my web friend. I've never met you.
Not yet.
But in any event, long story short, that's why we don't really rebroadcast that.
Not only that, we kind of want a special thing for the live audience.
That's true too.
We want something that they want to come and tune in for. We don't want to give it all to everybody.
No.
Something must be reserved for the best.
That's true. You're the best around.
Indeed.
And your schedule lines up with ours. Anyway. Quickly moving on to the next things, then we'll delve into the news. We don't always read the comments on the live stream, not because we don't care, but because there's a bit of a delay. So, it takes a minute or so sometimes to actually get those back and stuff. And if it's off topic or I have to stop saying my story so that I can read it, it can jam it up. So we'll do our best, and we appreciate the live stream comments, but also a lot of those specific questions are for not just the after party, but kind of the Windows question and answer stuff, which we still do as part of that party, despite what a lot of people like about the party. It is at its core question and answer. So yeah, in the future we're going to have more pictures and videos, but we'll make sure to describe them based on your feedback, and we're going to try to annotate the webpage, the YouTube, so you can just click the link and read along the story, that sort of thing. Sound good? Anything else, Zach?
No, I think that's it.
Sweet. We appreciate your feedback, and we will continue to ask for things in the future. I think this week, if we do a poll, it's just going to be if you've reserved your copy of Windows 10, which we'll get to in a bit. But first, Zach, any build news this week?
Absolutely. So this week,
sweet.
Another build leaked. Last week there was an official release. We had build 10,130, which included a number of UI tweaks and enhancements. This week we've had a leak, meaning it's unofficial, so it's not being actually sent out to Windows insiders, but you can actually install this build and try it out. Not many new things in it. The UI is practically the same. Features are still the same. A couple of additional changes. The snipping tool, probably one of the handiest tools in Windows, received an update which now allows delayed snaps. So what you can do is you can delay a snap for say 4 seconds, and then press the snap. It's not snap, the snipping tool thing, and then it'll wait 4 seconds, and then the snipping tool will come up. So good, I guess, for those who need to wait a minute before they take a snip, before they snip their screen. But other than that, there's nothing really new. In the Settings app, there is a new option to stop receiving insider builds. So those who've been waiting for that feature is now there. And below that, there's a toggle which allows Microsoft to try out additional features on the build. Now, I haven't noticed anything different in build 10,134 when you enable this. This might be for future builds, I don't know, but there is an option there to do that now. So Microsoft may be planning to do some interesting things with the features which are enabled by default on the build. But other than that, really nothing else new. It looks the same, it feels the same. Some have said it's a little bit more stable. I haven't had that experience. Then again, I've been having terrible experiences with Windows as of late. So I guess if you really want to try it yourself, you'll have to, do it yourself, I guess. But I am not, because I'm not scared. I mean, because I am scared.
Well, as we approach RTM, build stuff's going to be a lot more stability, a lot less. I mean, they're not even adding new features now, are they?
Yeah, I think they. Yeah, I know they have. They've marked Windows 10 as feature complete now, so all the features are done. They'll update apps separately and whatnot, but now they're just working on the underneath and trying to fix it all up. I guess they may do a few more UI tweaks. I'm not entirely sure, but regardless, Windows 10, how you see it in build 10,130 and 10,134, it won't change drastically from now to RTM.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, well, we saw just this week, didn't builds, what was it? We had 5 builds within 7 numbers, leaked or released.
And that again?
Didn't we have builds 10,027 and 28, or really close to each other builds that leaked out and stuff?
We had 10,025 leak, then we had 10,130 leak, then we had 10,134 leak. So I guess that's close in, I guess. Yeah, it's closer than usual, because usually we have to wait a long while. We have 10,174, a long wait, and then 10,120, I think it was. Oh, 22, that was it. So that's a long wait. But yeah, as of late, we've had a few more leaks, which is interesting. And
apparently people collect leaks like trading cards?
Yes, people do like to collect builds.
Are you one of those people?
I am one of those people.
Do you trade? I'm not... I mean, part of this, it was originally I was really? And now I'm oh, this is a cool thing, I guess. People do this.
People do trade.
You trade them and stuff?
Yeah, people can trade builds for builds. I don't trade them. I don't know anybody to trade with.
You just collect them. You're just they're mine. They're all mine.
And in 10 years' time, look down the line and go, look at all those builds. Look at how Windows has changed. But then again, that's...
You ever run the old ones for Throwback Thursday? Be this is a build of Windows 7.
I mean, I'd sometimes look. Sometimes I'd go in there to see, to look at something and to see if it's the same or how it's changed in a recent build. But I don't really go back and say, right, I'm running this build now. Don't do that. Stick to production builds, guys.
Well, there you go. Some people like to stick with old stuff.
Some people do. Those on Windows XP, how dare you?
Well, we'll get into that in a bit. You lose some things, but that's for official stuff. That's not build to build, though. I suppose some people really, really like certain features on specific builds. People get really passionate about that stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, any other build stuff?
The phone companion app, Gareth, is separate. It won't be... It's not... I don't believe it will be baked into the operating system. It might be downloadable from the store. If it is baked in, then I guess they'll add it. But that's not features. That's more of an app. Features, I mean things that are coded in to the operating system, I don't know, the notification center, for example. Apps are different. They may add a few apps before RTM, but the idea of Windows 10 is now done. So what you use in 10,130, the taskbar, the control panel, etc., or the settings app, that's pretty much done.
It'll just work better.
Yeah, it'll be more stable by the time. When Windows 10 RTMs, it should be good to go on day one.
And it's really nice of them because they lined up the schedule with our 25th podcast.
They did. Isn't our 25th podcast a couple days before?
So the Friday before RTM is the 25th podcast.
No, before release. RTM would be way before that.
Yeah, oh yeah, sorry. Before July 29th. The last podcast before July 29th release. Sorry, release. Yeah, you're right. Is the Yeah, 25th podcast. So that was really nice of Microsoft to line that up for us.
Yeah, I contacted Gabe. I said, "Hey, Gabe,
Look, we really need this.
we need this. Could you get as close to the podcast as possible?"
Yeah,
They said, "Sure thing." And look
sure
where we are.
thing. What day do you record? We were going to release it not on a Friday. All right, well, whatever. All right, let's see here. Moving right along. If you want to get that, and I guess to clarify, release, not RTM, because RTM, that'll be ready. We'll have it way before it's actually like there, I assume. Like people have that. That'll be out. Like we'll see the finished product before the 29th, I guess.
I imagine Windows usually RTMs a week. Right. A few months before it's given out, before it's released. But this time, I guess it'll be RTM'd a few weeks before, or a couple weeks before at the latest. Sent to OEMs pretty quickly, and once it hits OEMs, it usually leaks out to the public.
Right, and then it'll be officially released on July 29th.
Yeah, so I imagine people like you, like me, sorry, I don't think you'll be wanting to install the leak.
No.
But people like me will have it at least a week before the July 29th. Unless Microsoft do it differently and keep it under wraps until July 29th, which I find
Yeah, good luck with that.
rather unlikely. Yeah, would be rather unlikely. So
Yeah. So for folks like me that aren't going to get that, we got to reserve a copy. So in the middle of the night, Microsoft and the was it fire-breathing unicorn with the cat? Is that what it is? Snuck into my computer and updated it. And so this little icon appears in your little on the like taskbar on the bottom, and it just looks like the little Windows logo, and it says Get Windows 10. And if you click that, you just get the options for reserving it. It's not that complicated. I've done it on my PC and on my girlfriend's tablet. It's pretty straightforward to do. Some people had some issues with it showing up, I guess.
yeah, it took a while. Microsoft, they kind of on Sunday. It was late Sunday night or early Monday morning for us in the UK. All of a sudden, on Reddit, I think it was, someone said, "Hey, guess what? I've just received this saying Windows 10's available." Or Windows 10's coming soon, sorry. And then that was it. That was their advertising campaign kicked off.
There you go. And so, yeah. So it's not that complicated. But if you are unfamiliar, you just click it. And then if I could share my screen, I'd show you right now. There's just reserve. And then it kind of does all the background stuff on its own. And then when it is ready, it will do that. And the reason that they want to do this is because it'll lighten the load on their servers on the actual day that it's publicly released.
Yeah, there will be a pre-download. So Windows 10 will start pre-downloading in the background before July 29th. So on the day, their servers don't get hammered, and you have it ready to install, which is good.
Right. And you'll already have it running, but I'll have it ready to install. Yeah, and then you said they officially started advertising it as well. It's kind of, once it's out there, like a movie trailer, once it leaks, they make it official, and they just talk about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, reserving stuff. Some people are not as thrilled about Windows 10 because they lose some features that they really love. It's not a really long list, but we did have a story this week on some things that are lost.
Yeah, we did. Right, let's talk about that then. So, I was kind of annoyed when this story first kind of took off because it wasn't. I don't think it was us who originally reported on it, but there was such a big hype about Windows 10. Like, yes, Windows 10 is fine. You can now reserve it. It's looking great. And then all of a sudden, this story comes out. By the way, guys, there's things you won't be getting with Windows 10, or there will be things that are being taken away from you. And I'm like, oh, really? So this came out, and yes, I guess there's a fair amount of things you will lose when you upgrade to Windows 10, but when you put it into perspective, it's not that bad. So watching DVDs requires a separate bit of playback, a separate piece of playback software, meaning Windows Media Center will not be carried over to Windows 10. If you paid, actually, isn't that an article we've got for later in the game?
It's connected to this. I wrote it. I put it at the end so we could save it for later because it's the big finale.
Okay, so Windows Media Center is not available. I think we're talking about that in a bit. Windows 7 desktop gadgets will be removed as part of the installation of Windows 10, but then again, those Windows 8 users already know about this because gadgets went around in Windows 8. Windows 10 home users will have updates from Windows Update automatically available. That's not even a feature that's no longer available. That is a plus, if anything. That means you'll always be up to date. Windows 10 Pro and Windows 10 Enterprise users will have the ability to defer updates. Solitaire, Minesweeper, and Heart games that come pre-installed on Windows 7 will be removed. Oh no, I'm not updating now.
Don't you just love that Microsoft, they act like they own the game of Solitaire?
Yeah.
They're like, 25th anniversary? We're going to do a big tournament. Oh, big news about it. It's not going to be on Windows 10 because we have a new version. They didn't invent Solitaire. Like, it's a card game. It was around way before computers. It's ours. And you won't get it, except you will. It'll just be a new, what's it called? Microsoft Solitaire Collection. Yeah.
Well, I was really sad about this news. I cried for 5 hours. But
did you?
Then I realised, then I read the rest of the sentence, and it said, Microsoft has released a version of Solitaire and Minesweeper called the Microsoft Solitaire Collection and Microsoft Minesweeper, meaning there's a new version of it on Windows 10. So again, you don't miss out on this, you just get a newer version. So not bad news at all those tears were wasted. Not only that, if we take a look at the next bullet point, if you have a USB floppy drive, who has one of them these days? Either way, if you have a USB floppy drive, you will need to download the latest driver from Windows Updates or from the manufacturer's website. So again, not something you're technically missing out on. It's just something that's not going to be there straight away. You just need to download a driver. Oh dear. If you have Windows Live Essentials installed on your system, the OneDrive application is removed and replaced with the inbox version of OneDrive, meaning you don't miss out on OneDrive, just a newer version of OneDrive is put on Windows for you. So I'm starting to see a trend here. This isn't a list of link features that are no longer available, it's just a list of features that are being changed.
Yeah. No, there's like a couple things. Let's see. There's actually gadgets, like you said, that's not new but I guess for some people, they're updating straight from Windows 7. So that actually is a loss to them, but not to people from Windows 8.
Yeah, and the majority, a fair percentage will be upgrading from Windows 7, really.
Right, yeah. In realism. The real loss is Windows Media Center, which is a very small niche product, but the people that have it like built their entire homes around it.
Yeah, this is the only one that I can see being an issue.
And I can understand it. Like I didn't know much about it, and I read the story and I see the kind of people are really passionate because they build, had TV card support, and people would set up their entire media centers around Windows Media Center. So instead of it would be their DVR for live stream, live TV recording, it would be everything. And now it's gone. It's not just download it separately like DVD playback or floppy disk drives. Hey, whatever. Like. If you like floppy disks, whatever. I'm sure there'll be like that old lady meme, and it's like, I know, I have to download a driver, but I can't drive anymore. I don't have a driver's license. In any event, it's not like that. It's just gone, and so you would have to keep like devices, maybe like what would you call like a mini PC, like plugged into your TV, just like and leave it on Windows 8, like back behind the TV, and just. Don't touch it, I guess.
There are other pieces of software these days that does exactly the same thing as Media Center. Media Center hasn't been updated since at least Windows 7.
Yeah. Like I said, it's a very niche product. The people that did it spent a lot of money building their house around it. So I understand why they specifically are upset. But I think most people don't. If you ask the average user, which there was a quote where someone asked me, they said, which one Shawn Michael is? And they said, is he the Microsoft guy or the random guy? It's like, or it's just Sean. Yeah, I'm just like random dude, don't know anything about Microsoft. They just pay me to talk. So like if you asked me like a year ago, what's the difference between Windows Media Center and Windows Media Player? I actually think a lot of people wouldn't know the answer. They wouldn't know that. Like obviously Windows Media Center had all this like live TV recording and stuff.
Yeah.
And so most people don't care. So, but that's like the real loss.
Media Center is a very small percentage of people.
I read some of the user stat. It's tremendously low. Yeah. It's like less. It's I don't know. It's really
very
small.
low.
But like I said, I can understand if you spent money and it's now gone, why you'd be upset. So there you go.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Like I said, there is alternative software that does the same job. Some do an even better job than Media Center. So if you really need Media Center, take a look around and see what there is out there, because I'm sure you'll find a better piece of software, and then you'll come to a sudden realization, why was I using Media Center all along when this has been around?
Well, and then in addition to that, and I know that there's a different piece of hardware, there's a lot of rumors out now that the Xbox One is going to get DVR recording and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And so if that gets it, I actually think there'll be a strong argument to make an Xbox One that isn't a game console and just have just the media center one. But the prices continue to go down, so hopefully they're affordable for most people. I know that they're quite expensive, but hopefully people can afford them if they really want that feature. Yeah. So if those rumors are true, that's another reason to not be as sad.
Yeah. But
So
yeah,
there
so
you go.
you're not really missing out on much if you're not a media center user. In fact, you're hardly missing out on anything. You're just getting more features in return or updated features.
Zach, I just wrote it because someone told me. I don't even know what these things... I'm not the Microsoft guy. I'm just the random dude. I'm just here. They just pay me to talk.
No,
Fill
the entire internet saw this, saw the news and stuff, so...
In any event, so yeah, so that's about it.
I didn't ask you, did you actually reserve your free upgrade to Windows 10?
I did, because all you have to do is click 3 buttons.
Yeah, you do. And you don't even have to insert your email. You can just skip it if you really want to.
Yeah, I just did. I did it for mine, and I did it for my girlfriend's tablet, and it was really easy, and it's great. Didn't you say you ran around and did it on people's devices without telling them?
I did. Sorry, I was like, gotta do it.
Oh, that's funny. Well, you know, I emailed one of our articles. Actually, no, I think it was just like a video by Microsoft that just showed like all the features in Windows 10 to my parents, because the thing is that our listeners and our readers, they know a lot about tech. Yeah. And a lot of them know, like, madly, you know, just a massive amount of information on coding and Microsoft news and everything. A lot of people don't, and it's kind of like their jobs or our jobs to, like, tell the other people that aren't going to read 17 articles about icons and driver updates. And so I emailed my parents and was like, hey, Dad, like, I know Mom didn't like that the start menu went away. Here's a video that shows what she gets back with Windows 10. So for like them, it's great that they just have to press 2 buttons and it updates. I would hate it if they had to do something else, because then people wouldn't do it.
Yeah. No, you're right.
I mean, like, the people that know how to do fancy stuff are going to do it no matter how complicated it is. This needs to be like, you turn on your computer and it's like, psst, there's an update. Do you want every feature you've ever wanted? And you're like, okay. And it's like, sweet, we did it when you weren't looking.
See, here's the problem, because before, users don't care for updates. That's the biggest issue. Your average Joe, I guess, doesn't want an update. Updates are bad news. So
you go to restart or turn off your computer and it's like, hey, we have 20 updates.
My girlfriend, for example, she has a million updates to install, and every time the pop-up comes up, say, hey, would you like to install these updates? Delayed another 8 hours. And she would never install. She says she'll do it. She never does it. So I think them advertising Windows 10 directly from your taskbar is a good thing. Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's great. I think it's great that it's free. I think it's great that it's easy. And I think it's great that it's, you know, it's the best of Windows 7 and Windows 8. I mean, that's really what it is. It is. It's a mishmash between Windows 7 and Windows 8.
I did a story today on Snap Assist and like snapping apps and programs in Windows 10.
Yeah.
And that is like the perfect example of, it takes like features people liked from Windows 7 and then also features people like from Windows 8. And just was just like, we'll do both now, and it's wonderful. And so I think for most people, they're really going to like this update. So they need to make it as easy and free as possible, which takes us to our next story, which is pricing. There's some confusion on this. I know a lot of people have said it, but you get the update for free if you're using Windows 7 or Windows 8. And then it just comes free, and you don't have to pay a subscription, and you don't have to pay anything again, and it's just free. I guess, well, you need to pay if you're updating from older versions like XP, right?
Yes, this is where this pricing comes from. Windows 7 and Windows 8 users for the first year, only the first year, will have a free upgrade to Windows 10. After that, if you miss out, if you don't reserve or upgrade, you will have to pay for Windows 10.
Right. And then the pricing scheme
is ridiculous.
Windows 10 Home is $119. These are all US dollars. Let's see. Windows 10 Pro is $199. And then the Windows 10 Pro Pack, which allows you to upgrade from Windows 10 Home to Windows 10 Pro, is $99, right?
Yes.
Is that right? Okay. So yeah, do it in the first year. Click that little icon. If you're not getting it there, we will help you and there you can look up how to fix that and that sort of thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So don't be a loser and don't miss out on the upgrade, because then you'll have to pay a substantial amount when you actually decide you.
Well, that's a lot of money for nothing. Like, it's a lot of money for something you got for free.
Yeah, it's almost like Microsoft is punishing you. Upgrade within a year, or I'm going to make you pay for this.
Well, it's understandable because they want people to switch. Because as we know, developers do things based on user base. So they're saying we want 1 billion users within a few years. So if in the first year they don't have users, that's a problem.
Yeah.
And then if enough people have it, then people who don't know a lot about it will be like, oh, you have apps opening as windows. How do you do that? And they'll be like, oh, you just update. And they're like, sweet. Because the more you see other people using it, the more you're going to want it.
Yeah.
So that's that. So that's it for pricing.
That is that. So yeah, ridiculous pricing, but it will convince me.
Dude, is that higher than normal?
No, it's the same as Windows 8 was, but then again, Windows 8's pricing is ridiculous as well.
Oh, okay.
I think it's cheaper now.
Is it? Well, why would it be cheaper? Because then people would just update to Windows 8 like the day before it publicly released.
I don't know. Anyway, for those who are actually looking to actually take advantage of your upgrade in Windows 10 but want to clean install at the same time, you will be able to do that, but you will need to upgrade first. So Windows 10 users, Windows 7 and Windows 8 users will definitely need to do their upgrades. To do that, you obviously go to Windows Update on the July 29th and upgrade. Then you want to make a backup once you upgrade, so you have all your stuff if you want to save anything before you do the clean install. And then to simply do your clean install, you just reset your PC via the settings app and it will clean install Windows 10 for you. Then Gable does say that once you upgrade, you can actually use an ISO and clean install as well if you really want to. So
Bam!
Good news for those. I would definitely be doing that because I am a clean install user. Every version of Windows I upgrade to, I usually do it via a clean install. So
you do it like every day.
Yeah,
you clean install like every day.
I do it like every day. But with the Surface 3, which comes with a clean version of Windows on it practically, I clean installed Windows on this as well. Because I just feel like it's better and I like to do it. So there you go.
It is nice. It makes you feel like you're starting fresh when you do stuff like that.
Yeah, it does.
Especially, when you have if you're updating from Windows 7 all the way to Windows 10, it will. I think a lot of people want to do a clean install.
Yeah, they do. Normal consumers probably won't. This is more for professional, like pro users, I guess.
Yeah, I understand.
Prefer to do it like that.
I have a question actually before we get too deep into this. Do you think it was poor choice of words to use the word reserve for updating to Windows 10?
I don't, and there's a specific reason why I don't.
What's that?
It kind of makes it seem limited and exclusive, which is...
Well, that's the same reason I don't like it, but I can see where you're coming from.
I think it's a good idea, because if a user sees this and goes, oh, there's only a limited amount, I want to get in on this before it's too late. And then
Can you imagine if there was a limited amount? Oh, we only have 200 million. Sorry, you got to do it now.
Yeah, now they should have said that and just lied. I would so do that. I would be the worst marketer ever. I'd lie to people all the time. Only 5 now. Quick, do it. Yeah,
exactly. You wouldn't have like great commercials with The Rock and Hey Cortana?
Oh no, I'd have them as well, but I'd do something.
But all the other stuff would be terrible.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, sorry. I thought it was a bit poor choice, but for the same exact reason, you think it's a good choice.
Interesting. So why do you think it's a bad choice then?
I think it makes it seem like there's not, like it's like reserving. I think people will be like, oh, I forgot to reserve it, so can I still get it? Like August 1st will roll around and be like, oh, all my friends have Windows 10. Can I still get it? I didn't reserve a copy.
I think it changes after it rolls over July 29th. Instead of it saying reserve, it will just say upgrade now.
Hopefully. Yeah, I guess, yeah. I mean, like the big thing for me is I'm trying to view this from like, how would my grandmother do this? And she probably doesn't notice that a little Windows thing shows up in her taskbar.
Yeah, I hope it starts like popping up soon, because
like Cortana, when it's like bloop, bloop,
many
bloop,
people
bloop.
haven't noticed it yet, and I'm just waiting for it. I'm waiting for it to pop up and say, hey, make sure you reserve, because that's what I hope it does.
I hope it's blatantly obvious. It's just like it's like instead of the blue screen of death, it's like the blue screen of update.
Yeah, please
update.
The PSOD just has like a little advert. Upgrade to Windows 10 now with the sad.
Exactly.
The
We're
sad
going
face
to freeze
is now
your computer.
A smiley face. And instead of
we've frozen your computer. you can either update to Windows 10 for free and get the following, or stay where you are. Which do you prefer?
What they could do is when you reach an error, they can go, with Windows 10, this error would be fixed. Upgrade now. See, I'm the best marketer ever. Microsoft, hire me. You know you
Holding
want to.
people hostage.
Yeah. This error,
Anyway.
we can fix this error for the low cost of free if you upgrade to Windows 10.
Yes. But then they'll leave it in there, like a year later, be like, we can fix this small update for the low cost of $119. Because, I mean, I get the blue screen of death every once in a while, and it's just like, we've run into a problem, we need to restart. Okay.
I get it all the time.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. You're the one that broke the cameras on your Surface 3.
James says, can you upgrade after July 29th? Yes, you can.
Yes. Hopefully it says updates, and it's just easy. It won't say, like, reserve, like Zach said. Yeah, so reserving, all that stuff, clean install. Was there more on clean install? Can I cut you off on that? It's just that it's more pro users than casual?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. There's nothing else to it, really.
Okay. All right, then. Let's see. Moving on. Comment stream. Feel free to jump in anytime you'd like. Who's trying to get you more involved. Next story. Oh, here we go. So there's a feature in Windows 10 that isn't getting a ton of publicity, though hopefully this story and others similar to it will get it more publicity. That's going to be a big difference and a big game changer for a lot of people that use smart homes. So if you like, smart light bulbs, your garage door opener, thermostat, crock pot, which is apparently a real thing, and all that stuff, then you're going to want to pay attention to this. Because there's a feature called AllJoyn. It's spelled with a Y, so it's ALLJOYN. And it powers interoperability. Fancy thing is basically it's more of a universal standard for smart devices. So this is just some quotes from our article. AllJoyn is a protocol or common language that allows for devices to talk with each other and encourage interoperability between different manufacturers. So sometimes you get very exclusive, protocols, and you have to stay within an ecosystem. iHome is like that. And then sometimes it's just like universal. QI charging is universal, pretty much, right? Bluetooth, Wi-Fi.
Isn't it Qi? How do you pronounce QI? Isn't it Qi charging?
Okay, like that's fine.
I don't know how to pronounce it either. So.
But if it's Qi or Key or whatever, that's cool too. The point is it's universal. Miracast is universal, Wi-Fi, that sort of stuff. And so the idea is that developers can work with one specific type of protocol, and then if you have even if you had a Samsung phone, you could project it onto a TV with a Miracast dongle that wasn't made by Samsung because it uses this thing. Well, smart devices are trying to move in that direction, and AllJoyn is going to help that with this protocol common language. And so this is heavily based on an article from Time Magazine. And so as noted in Time Magazine, let's see here. The All-Seen Alliance has grown to include 150 companies, including everyone from Sony, LG, Sharp, Panasonic, Sears, Electrolux, Cisco, HTC, and more. So they have an alliance to make people or convince people to be on this unified platform. And what that gets you is you don't need a bunch of different apps. You don't need, there's a guy from he's the senior director of the Internet of Things at the Linux Foundation. And he says you have 2 pages of apps on your iPad or tablet. And I'll stop the quote from there. But he's right. I mean, if you have one app for your lights and another app for your microwave or oven and another one, as he points out, for your crock pot, it's a lot of different apps. And hopefully AllJoyn kind of eliminates that. And you could just, with your tablet, it'd be really easy to control all this stuff within one type of thing. I'm a little confused why this never happened. Do you have any smart devices, Zach? I don't really know. I don't have any. Do you?
I don't have any smart devices. Not yet. I'm looking to get one of those new webcams with Windows Hello support.
Do you think more people will try smart devices if it becomes easier? It'd just be use this and then it can work with all your devices no matter what company makes them?
A smart device. Did I use the right example for a smart device?
I don't think you did. But I just rolled with it. I'm sure there's some webcam that's smart. I mean, It's a baby thermostats, garage door openers, all these.
Oh, it's like I get it. I understand.
What would you label that as?
Like home, I guess. Smart home tools, I guess.
Smart home, yeah, like that sort of. You don't have any of that?
No, not in. I mean,
Like
it's not as big in the UK as it is in the US. Like,
No, in the US, I have a friend that has a fully automated house.
Yeah, but that's not really a thing in the UK. Not yet, anyway.
That's like, you go home, you shut the garage door, and I mean, one of the things that they talked about is that it would be like automatic. If these things all work together, you could have it where when you turn on your TV, it automatically speaks to your lights to dim the lights down.
That's quite cool.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. It's like if you've seen, let's see here, if you've seen Annie, starring Jamie Foxx, his whole house is controlled by Microsoft stuff. Really, really good product place. It's everywhere. Like everything's running Microsoft. And I think, the idea when you see like in these movies where it's like you walk in, it's like, Jarvis, change the thermostat. Bam, put my shower to this.
It's like
that kind of stuff. That's what this is supposed to do. What was that?
Clap, lights on.
I'm pretty sure clappers have been around since the 90s.
Yeah, but guess what? I've never used one, so it's still new.
This would be more like, hey, Cortana, turn on the lights.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I sort of didn't developers get that working?
On my phone, they did. I don't know if you could do that with your regular lights. Maybe that'd be cool. Hey. So anyway, AllJoyn is supposed to help you do that. So it's really cool. Check out our article. Go ahead and check out.
Do you reckon this looks realistic? Hey, lights, turn off. Yeah.
So there you go. I don't know. I think this is a good example of, like they said, they want 1 billion devices on Windows 10, right?
They do.
But if your light switches count as a device, that's a lot more devices.
Oh, maybe they could do that because Windows 10 IoT. They could
and that's what this. Yeah, that's what this is.
They could count all of it.
You could just be like, oh, you have a dishwasher, crock pot, microwave, light switch, power switch, your computer, and your phone. That's like 7 devices just for you. Bam!
I'm counting it.
Count
it.
What's that? You have 7 different light switches in your house? That's 7 different devices. There you go. Put that in there.
You have 2 eyes? That's 2 devices.
Just act your house just with your phones.
If you can see it twice, it counts.
Exactly. I think it's cool. I want more universal protocols. Cross-platform. They should all be like this.
They should.
Everything should be like, I shouldn't have to have a specific type of hardware to work with something like this. Like, I know people do that, and they'll buy like Apple stuff where it only works in the Apple ecosystem, and maybe, like you've talked about this before, if you're on the same ecosystem, it is really nice. But for something like a crock pot turning on and off, I don't want to have to buy like an Apple crock pot or a Windows crock pot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's more for third parties to do this.
Like, is Microsoft going to start making bread makers that are like branded by Windows?
I think this is third party stuff, really. This is more...
And that's what I mean, is they should be able to work with this open source stuff.
I have a Windows 10 toaster. What about you?
People have refrigerator. Have you seen that fridge that has Twitter?
I haven't. I have. I absolutely have.
From your fridge.
I'm having strawberries.
Why would you do that? Why would you tweet from your refrigerator?
Because people how people like to Instagram what they're eating?
This is me getting the food, not eating it. It's pre-getting the food.
People like to document every moment of their lives.
Yeah. It's kind of, I don't know, man. You want to tweet from your fridge, I guess that's fine. If you want to be able to know if your fridge turns off in a power outage using a standard through AllJoyn and other open source technologies, I think that's an actual use for it. So, yeah, that's it for that. Anything you want to add about that? Is there a particular device that you want, something you wish you could control with your tablet?
Right now, no, because I think it was TV at first, but you can do that now with smart glass.
Yeah, that's true.
So no, I don't think so. Not yet. I mean, maybe the lights are the next thing.
I like the lights.
I'm not desperate for a light switch that I can use with my voice yet. I'm quite happy to go and turn the light off. So someday we're gonna say, "Hey Cortana," and it's gonna be like the light switch, the fridge, the toaster, an oven, your phone, your laptop, and your Xbox are gonna be like, what can we help you with? You're like, whoa, guys, come please.
I just need one of you right now.
They will have to work out a way to decipher who you're asking, I think.
I think you should be able to custom name them.
Hey Cortana toaster.
No, you should be able to just record your voice, say, "Hey toaster."
Yeah.
And it should be like, "Bam, toaster. Hey, lights. Okay, lights." This should be fine. Anyway, so is that it for Windows 10 stuff? We had a lot of Windows 10 stuff this week.
Oh, there's going to be a lot of Windows 10 stuff all the way up until like forever, because Windows 10
It's like a Windows 10 podcast. What did I sign up for? This isn't a sports podcast?
No, it's not.
Oh well. Well, I guess we could talk about phones.
We absolutely can.
Yeah. So rumors about Lumia 940 XL, right? That's yours?
It is mine, and it's named under you.
I just changed it. It'll be fixed by the time you start talking.
All right, I have a story here.
Yeah, because I've been going on.
More
for a while.
details
I'm
about the
tired.
upcoming Lumia flagship, which is great news because I am waiting for this like no other. Because I am tired of my 930, I want a new Windows phone, and the next flagship is the one I want to get. So above all the other things we already know, there's a couple new additions here. We obviously have the 5.7-inch display, slim design, metal frame, Qualcomm Snapdragon 810 CPU processor, 3GB of RAM, 32GB of internal storage, a micro SD expandable, great news, which is something I actually really am excited for. 5-megapixel front-facing camera, 20-megapixel rear-facing camera, native pen support, which is interesting.
That's underlined for a reason.
Yeah. Continuum, USB Type-C, and an iris scanner for Windows Hello. This phone is better than my desktop. I want this now. Why don't I have this yet?
Because it's not there?
I'm so excited. I hope it's real.
Every single one of these features is something I actually want.
Yes. I want a slim design. My 930 is chunky as hell.
I want Snapdragon 810, 3GB of RAM, micro SD. It's just got everything, and it's even got pen support. Is the rumor? These are all rumors, by the way.
Yeah.
They could come out and be like, "Yeah, we decided to only make things lower than the 730," but probably won't.
I'm guessing the Surface Pen will work with it, right?
I would hope, because Microsoft owns the N-Trig technology now. They didn't buy the company; they just bought the specific pens technology.
Yeah.
For N-Trig pens, and so I would like to think that there will be like one pen that you could use on your phone, your Surface, and the Surface Hub. I would hope that those would work the same.
Because a phone with pen support, I don't think that. I mean, not many of them exist, I guess, especially with N-Trig.
No,
instead, because I mean, the Surface can act like a really big notebook, and then you can have your pen for little note taking.
Well, I think with the shape writing keyboard, you could just be like,
or you could just use ink and just type on paper or write on paper.
That's another thing. OneNote, that sort of stuff.
You always see journalists all the time with their little notebooks taking notes like this, like.
Yeah, I can't see you, Zach.
And you're not. Oh yeah, you can't see me. The audience can see me though. The audience knows what I'm talking about. You're just
true.
like an audio listener right now, Sean.
Oh, is this what it's like? This is terrible. No wonder they want us to describe stuff.
Well, what I'm doing is I've got a pen, and I put it onto my phone, and then I make a motion as if I'm writing on it. That's what I'm doing, guys.
Oh, there you go. Thank you. Yeah, this would put it lined up well with size and features. Oh, now I can see.
Yes, now you can see me.
With size and features, it would line up well with the iPhone 6 Plus and the any of the larger high-end phones. But then it would also line it up against something like the Note from the Galaxy series, because it would have like a live pen. But then these specs and everything else is basically, it's like they read our comment section on phones and then just made it a phone. Like they were just like, oh, they want everything? We'll put in everything. Okay, here you go. And the battery rumor for this is big too. It wasn't in this article, but it is. I think the battery is rumored to be like 3,300 milliamp hours.
That's a good battery. All day support, hopefully. The question is, how much will this be? It's not gonna be. It's not gonna be cheap, is it?
A lot, yeah. Well,
I reckon it'll be more than the Surface 3.
oh yeah, I think so. I mean, what's just a Lumia 930 brand new
It's 400 and something, I think.
pound? Was it?
400 something. Oh, £399, I think now.
Yeah, that sounds right. That sounds right.
Those are ridiculously expensive.
They are expensive, and it's probably because they're cramming so much stuff into such a small thing. It's probably easier to put 4 gigabytes of RAM into a PC than a phone.
Oh yeah, no, it's crazy cheap to put 4 gigabytes of RAM into a PC these days.
So that's why it's it's going to be less than the iPhone 6 Plus, I think, or the Samsung Galaxy Edge. Like I think it'll be.
I would hope so.
So it'll probably. And then here's the thing. And this is the difference between the states that I saw and England. It might not be every user in both countries, but kind of what I've seen somewhat as a culture difference. A lot of people in the States, it's just part of their phone plan includes like a phone just built into the cost. You do that here, but like there are companies that your phone bill doesn't go down if you own your phone.
No, yes, it doesn't.
Like in England, like I own my Lumia 930, so I only pay for like data, text, and minutes. That's all I pay for. And it's pretty cheap because I own the phone. A lot of people in the States, their phone bill would just be the same whether they owned it or not.
Yep.
And so they don't really, it's just like every 2 years they get the latest upgrade as part of their phone plan. It doesn't affect their bill at all. They don't care.
I'm pretty sure there's a carrier in the UK, I think it's O2 actually, who now actually take note of this, and when you finally pay off your phone, they drop your contract price.
Yeah, and they should. I mean, they should. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because what they're really doing is they're saying, you're paying us £12.50 for your phone service plus £20 a month for your phone, which is basically like a payment contract extended over 2 years. But some companies are just like, no, every 2 years you can update your phone. Your phone bill's $40 a month. And people are like, cool. So they don't care. I mean, there might be like $100 down, maybe $200 down, but they never like look and see that they're paying $700 for a phone.
No, they don't.
And so when people say pricing for a phone, I mean, people get that the Galaxy 6 Edge or the iPhone 6. They don't have to pay that full price up front. So I don't think it affects their buying habits as much.
Maybe. I always buy out my phones. Every phone I've ever owned, I've always bought it out.
Yeah.
Well, that's half because I don't have a contract and I'm on gift-gaff. Who texted me earlier and said I'm a legend?
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter. Yeah, they said you're a legend. EE doesn't call me a legend.
No one calls you a legend. No other carrier calls you a legend.
EE didn't even let me know when the blue version of the Lumia 640 came out.
Focus. These are both cams.
I know they have autofocus, but really...
It doesn't it autofocuses away from the camera. It doesn't autofocus here.
Yeah, I think, well, that's probably an aperture thing.
Yeah, it's half autofocus there.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I buy my phones out right now. But that was the difference. In the States, it was just every 2 years you get the upgrade. It's like, cool, brand new phone. Whatever it is, we'll just get the new one. Oh, it's £100, $100? Okay, sure, whatever. That's not a lot of money for what people expect to pay for a phone. So, yeah. Oh, I want this phone.
I want it so badly. Come on, at end of the year, hurry up.
Are there any other... Let's see. Are there any specific things you want to talk about? The pen, we talked about. Continuum.
Yeah, that's exciting.
USB Type-C?
Less exciting, really.
You don't have to go like this every time you plug in your phone.
Wow, it's going to save me 2 seconds.
It's going to save you 2 seconds every day for the rest of your life.
Yeah, but I'm still going to sit there for the amount of time I was going to sit there for. And
That's
play
true.
on my phone, so
That's true.
it doesn't adjust much.
Do you ever like use your phone as one thing, and then in your brain you're like, oh, I need a camera, so you go to grab your phone as a camera, but you're like, I'm already holding my phone, which I'm using as a music player.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm insane because I'm like holding my phone.
Brain
What was
dump.
that?
I always do it. I always have my pen and I always lose it, and I'm like, where's my pen? It's in my hand.
Yeah. My dad will lose his glasses and they're on his head.
Where's my
But like with my phone, because it does so many different things, it's like my brain assumes it's multiple devices, even though it's not. So be like, oh, I'm on the phone. I need to look something up on the internet. Like, no, that's your same device. Like, oh, okay. So now you'll have a phone that's also a computer. So you'll be like, I'm on the phone and I need a computer. Same thing. Because Continuum, at least for certain apps and functions. Do you like metal frames on phones?
Yes.
I prefer the plastic.
Really?
I think metal looks nicer, but it dents easier and then looks bad.
Not on the 930.
My 930 has a chip on the corner of it.
Yeah, chip. Well, put a case on it then.
I do. I have this big case. Look how big my phone is now.
I've got the exact same case as you.
Do you? Well, it was rated highly on Amazon. So.
Yeah, absolutely exact. We are like, that's crazy, that is. But mine's coming apart, look. Mine's starting to come apart at the top.
No, mine's good. Mine's pretty good.
When did you get it?
When? I don't know. Like October?
Wow, I've had yours for less, and mine's already destroyed more than yours.
Yeah, I don't know. I like it. I like using a case because I feel safe. I went naked for a little bit on my phone.
Oh,
I
love going naked for a little bit because it just.
I thought I was gonna break it the whole time.
Yeah,
though,
it reminds you of how premium your phone is.
It's well, because this costs so much money. They cost so much money. Like if you lose your phone, that's like that's like a Surface 3.5, or like a high-end Surface 3.
I sent this away to get repaired.
I guess not really, not a high-end, but it's like a Surface 3.
Yeah, £100-something to get this repaired.
Yeah, because like you said, Brent, if this was $399 brand new, a Surface is only $419 new.
Yeah.
Like anyway.
Sean, do you have many friends on Skype?
No.
Oh, well, you're lucky then.
But for this story, sure. I got you, my family, and my girlfriend. That's about it. Maybe a couple coworkers.
Earlier this week, you could do a nasty little prank to them and send them a special message which absolutely destroyed their Skype install.
I know, and you know what the crazy thing is? It's not a ridiculous set of characters for someone to accidentally type.
Unlike the iOS problem, which is crazy, and you would probably copy and paste it. This one is simply typing in http:// colon.
That's it.
That's it. So just like a web address, instead of putting the web address in after the // you just put another colon. And it destroyed Skype.
Yeah.
Luckily,
and it was for sending and receiving, which is just terrible.
Instead of destroying just them, it destroyed them and you.
So, well, it's kind of fair, though, because if I purposely did it to break someone else's Skype, it should destroy my Skype.
Yeah, it's like kamikaze.
You know what else crashes Skype?
What?
Trying to use it for like an hour and a half?
Yes. See, you finally... I remember when we first started using Skype, when we did like the first few podcasts, and Sean was like, oh, Skype's great. I love Skype. And now he realizes...
Well, it's because I have to use it for work. Like when you're Skyping your friend and it cuts out and you just call back, it's like, okay, this is my job. Like I need it to work.
And it doesn't. Skype sucks.
Yeah, well, you know. So yeah, but yeah, it's fixed now. They sent out a fix like the next day. You can get the download link from the page that we will include in the either annotation somewhere.
Somewhere on the screen.
Where are you going to annotate these?
You know, YouTube specifically says don't mention where the annotation will be because we may move it in the future. So I don't.
Really?
Yes.
What does YouTube get out of moving where I put my annotations?
We're not going to use actual annotations. We're going to use cards. So they pop up right now. They pop up in the top right of the window. So over.
Who do you think you are, YouTube, moving my stuff?
So yeah, we're going to use them. But yes, if you the error in Skype has been fixed now. They released an update. It affected a large sum of platforms: Windows, Mac, iOS, Android. Surprisingly, not Linux though. Linux was fine.
And the Windows app, I don't think was affected. I think it was only desktop.
Yes, the Windows app would be fine as well.
Which is so weird. Like
nobody uses it. I used to use it all the time.
I used to use the Windows app, but then I realized I can get that little for the podcast. It's really nice that I can actually use other programs while using it.
Yeah.
Or we tried that once. I used to not be able to use anything else while I was on Skype doing the podcast. I'd just be like, Sean, do you have the details for the story? I'm like, no. Meh. On my phone, maybe? Not here. So Skype makes me sad, man. Because Microsoft owns it. They should fix it.
They should, hopefully with Windows 10. I hear they're working on a messaging app, which
they better
coming in Windows 10, which isn't coming in the RTM, I don't believe, but will be coming in the future, which will have Skype integration.
Skype, messaging, put those together. It should just work. And
then I should be able to text from the app as well. And
now that being said, Skype does integrate pretty well with some other stuff. I was on the phone where I have a Windows phone and my girlfriend has an iPhone, and I accidentally hit call on Skype, and it actually was trying to call her on Skype, and I think it actually worked.
Yes, it does. You can actually buy credit for Skype and stuff.
Which is pretty cool.
You can text on Skype. Skype's like its own private network in which you can text and call, and
there you go.
You can call real numbers if you really want to.
Yeah, so there you go. Yeah, I've done that before because I had Skype credit, which I could do international calling. It came like free with my Surface.
Yeah.
So there's that. Why do companies still charge money for international calling? I got charged £13 for a 13-minute phone call.
Wow. Ridiculous.
It's £1 a minute. Like £1 a minute? My whole monthly plan is the same as that one phone call.
I better be quick doing this call.
Yeah, exactly. Mom! Oh, never mind. Talk to you later.
Yeah. Hi, bye.
The gall that they charge you for international calling when there are things like Skype, WhatsApp, and everything else in the world that has video calling and audio calling that they charge to do it straight from your phone. It's just ridiculous.
I mean, it can't be that much for them to route it to an international country.
There's no way. There's no way.
I would be surprised if it costed anything for them.
Probably not. Someone asked me, they said, do I have the new Wi-Fi calling? No, I don't. I know EE supports Wi-Fi calling for the Lumia 640, but I use my 930. The 640 is what my girlfriend's going to use, but she doesn't yet, so we don't have it. I think I might have the update, but have not used it yet, so I can't tell you what it's like. Sorry. But it is available. T-Mobile in the States, EE in England. Wi-Fi calling. There you go. Whew. Anything else, Zach?
I don't think so. I think that's it for this week. We are at time, and good as well. We're almost at 1 hour.
There we go. Well, that's what we shoot for, isn't it?
It is. Less than an hour.
Less than an hour. Because, we really appreciate our listeners, but we don't want to take up your whole day. If we did like a 5-hour podcast, you wouldn't listen. That's okay. I wouldn't be offended.
Someone would listen.
Somebody would listen.
But it'd be me. I'd listen.
Oh, you'd have to edit it.
And I'd listen to it afterwards as well.
Do you listen to the podcast later?
I should do, but I don't. I hope for the best.
I have to admit, sometimes when I say something that's funny, I do go back and watch.
Like earlier today with the recent build video I put out, I mentioned it in the video. I say, right, so I've got to cut this out. Absolutely, completely forgot I said it and didn't even watch the video back. Published it. All the comments were just, you forgot to edit this. And I had to edit because it was my phone number. So there you go.
Yeah, you got to be careful with that sort of stuff. People spot it, man. People notice photos so quickly. I mean, I won't go through the whole thing, but like people spot Photoshop errors and like non-edit errors all the time. We did a whole piece this week on they accidentally put the Android version of an app on a Windows Phone website.
Yeah.
And you got to be careful with that stuff. Particularly with personal info or banking stuff. You got to be careful.
Like your phone number.
Like your phone number.
Surprisingly,
or your Skype.
Nobody texted me. I guess.
I'll text you.
Yeah.
I'll text you.
I had to pull the video and re-upload it. With a blur in place. So there you go.
Sweet. Well, that's it for this week then, guys. I guess we'll go ahead and wrap up. This has been the WinBeta podcast for the week of June 5th, 2015. I'm one of your hosts, Sean Michael. You can find me on Twitter at Sean_Michael_UK. And you can find Zach. Where can they find you, Zach? I know, but they might not.
At ZachB_. On
there
Twitter.
You go. You can also find WinBeta on Twitter at WinBetaDOT.org. Follow us on anything you want, like RSS feeds, YouTube, Twitter, Google+, whatever you want. And then you can listen to us audio-wise, tuned in, SoundCloud, iTunes, audio apps, like any of the Windows podcast app, that sort of thing, which still doesn't have a great name. I even tweeted them about it. They didn't know what I was talking about. And then watch us on YouTube, either live every Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or Eastern Daylight Time, I think is the official term now, or watch the rebroadcast, put it up over the weekend, that sort of thing. Love having you. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Like, subscribe, all that stuff that YouTubers say at the end of their videos. We will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.